Hello everyone, Monkeypuzzle here, and welcome to episode number 18 now of playing the Direwolf20 FTB pack from Minecraft 1.7.10 here on the Primus server. Anyway, behind me you can see this PneumaticCraft monstrosity that I made in the last episode. We've got our air compressors and our compression chamber and our little pressure check gauges and valves and such that keep the whole thing from blowing up. Hopefully, this thing is still building up, and if everything goes right, it's going to stop here at 5. It'll have full pressure that it can have, and I hope all the recipes that you can put in it will work fine until that only require lower pressures will still work fine at 5. We shall see. Oh, at some point I got to throw a villager in here too. Not going to do that yet. I don't want to lose the pressure I've built up so far. Maybe I should have done him first. But anyway, I don't want to wait at this point. We'll get to that later. But what I want to get to with this right away, and there's other things you can do with it, like in the recipes here, you can make diamonds from coal, and you can do a number of things. But what I want to get to is drones. Because I want to use them to do some building real quick. Among other things, let's just start with a drone, and not the bees, but these PneumaticCraft flying robot-y things here. So that's the recipe for it, but we can't make it right away because there are steps to it. For instance, these turbine rotors, we're going to need to make these turbine blades. To make the turbine blades, we're going to need to put redstone and gold in here. So it's 2 and 1, and that makes 1 blade. Each of these need 3 blades. So we're going to need a total of, let me see, 12. Is that right? Yeah. 12 of these turbine blades. So 12, we'll need 24 and 12. We can throw those things in right now, probably. Let's see, let's get those out of my bag. We need, so 24 of these. And 12 of these. So let's grab that. And then if we throw this in here. Now, I haven't thrown stuff in here before, and hopefully this is going to work out. If we just put it in like that, they all going to go in there. I don't know how much it can hold or what. Seems like the glowstone. Did it go in? Or not? Yes, it did. Oh, it takes a little time. I think this thing could take some speed upgrades or something. Okay, that's 1 item at a time going in here. And hopefully they'll all go in and we'll get our rotor blades. And then when they're done, we'll be able to pull them out over here. I'm going to leave that alone for a while, and hopefully it's going to do the right thing. In the meantime, let's look some more at that recipe. So the other part of it is this printed circuit board, and this is where it's going to get a little complicated. For that, we're going to need all these capacitors and these transistors and the unassembled PCB, which is supposed to stand for printed circuit board. I don't know if Mind Martin knows that also stands for dangerous toxic chemicals, but that's not that. It's a circuit board, not toxic chemicals. So for the capacitor, we're going to need to put compressed iron, redstone, and one kind of plastic, the lightning plant seed plastic, which is like a light blue or a teal. I'm not sure. That's going to go in there. So we need lightning plant seeds, plastic, and then let me see, get back here. We're going to, nope, wrong thing. We're going to need, this is going to be the squid plant seed plastic. And then this is a little tricky. There's this whole assembly controller thing we're going to need to make later, but we can't make this until we have these. So there's another way to make these. Let's see, over here, we can make the empty PCB by putting creeper plant seeds in with compressed iron. And then we're going to need to make a UV light box and put it in with some etching acid. So first, I got to get the different ones. We needed creeper plant seeds, which is these. And we're going to need some squid plant seeds. And we needed the lightning plant seeds, these. So I got to make all those plastics up before we can proceed. I wonder how my rotor blades are doing here. A brief interruption. Cat Dog Pig Duck is here. And, oh, what did he bring me? He brought me a villager. Aw, cool. He's about to die. But this is a PneumaticCraft guy, yes? Is that what he is? Awesome. Thank you. But I still want to compress one. Thank you. Still want to compress one though. Tee-hee. Alright, so there was our cameo from Cat Dog Pig Duck in his fancy armor too. I don't know if you noticed, but he's got that what do you call it? That fortress, Thaumic Fortress armor, which was really good looking. Alright, let me get back to this. I can be such a goof sometimes. It turns out that I was putting in glowstone when I was supposed to put in gold. And I'm sure you guys saw me doing that. We're face palming. So let's try it with those. In the meantime, I had learned how to turn the pressure down here by adjusting the settings for the redstone levels and the gates. But we'll go over that another time when I actually need to do it. But now I know how. Oh, and I also learned how to read these recipes better because I was worried about the pressure. For instance, for the turbine blade, it's green from 1 to 5. So the recipe will work anywhere from 1 bar of pressure to 5 bars of pressure. So there is a big leeway. So this can be all the way up at 5, and it should work for most recipes. So let's try it, see if it works now. I put in 1 gold and 2 redstone. Let's see if we actually get our rotor or blade. So this is doing its little airlock thing, which is very cool. I like that it's animated here and it's animated on the block itself, which is pretty neat. And then let's see. I think it hasn't thrown the gold in yet, or has it? There's the redstone. And where's the gold? Should be in there. But still not working. I don't see the gold. Did it come out? Oh, the gold's over here for some reason, wanting to come out. So let's throw another gold in there and see if that works. Why are you here? Aha! Success. So let's pump that out and we'll see our first turbine blade. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to make some more of those. I'm also going to send all these plastics through Azo to be able to make those other things. And I got to make sure I remember to turn this off first so things don't come out. And you can't pull out of there. That makes sense, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to make some stuff. See there, I got my black plastic being made already. And I could put some filters on here so it just doesn't pull out things that aren't ready yet, but I'm not there yet. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead, finish manufacturing all these things, and I will see you when I've done that. I was just looking back at the in-game wiki at all these machine upgrades for PneumaticCraft, and there is a speed upgrade I could make for these interfaces to make them work faster, and maybe this volume upgrade would work to make them do more things at once, but I don't want to make those right now. Anyway, we got all our plastics in there from those seeds, and I can go ahead and pump them out, and then after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and finish making the rest of the rotors, or the blades for the rotors. Okay, so we got success with all that. We got our turbine blades, and this is all just for 1 drone so far. We'll get this down better later. Next thing we're going to throw in here is some compressed iron and some plastic, and I've noticed that the first few things I throw in tend to get stuck in over here. So I'm going to see how many get caught up in here first. Just 1. And so that will affect how many more I throw in. So that, and I forget how many I threw in before, but I should be able to just throw in 8. now, and that should be enough. And that's going to make our initial PCB cards. These ones, these guys, the empty PCBs. And then while those form in there, we're going to need to take it to the next step. We're going to need to make some etching acid and a UV light chamber as well. And it looks like that might need some more plastic, unless I'm not doing it at a high enough temperature. Cat dog's got unnatural hunger. And this needs to be done to make these, needs to be done up at a higher pressure, and we're not quite there yet. So it's building up. It'll be there soon. In the meantime, let's make a UV light box. Now, eventually we're going to be able to do this on that whole assembly machine thing with all the little lasers and drills and stuff, but we're not there yet. And we'll get there. Probably not today. But the UV light box is like this. This thing right here. We're going to need to make a PCB blueprint, which is compressed iron with emeralds. So that's not too bad. And then over here, I'm not sure if we have all this stuff or not. No, we're going to need to make some more redstone lamps. That's no biggie. Always like me some redstone lamps. And now we should be good to make the UV light box. So I'm going to go back there, finish off that last operation, and then let's see if we can make some printed circuit boards. Okay, they got done along with the extra plastic floating around in there. So let me pull those out and we'll get to the next thing. And now finally, to complete this operation making the printed circuit boards, we're going to need to make some etching acid to use in the UV light box. So we're going to throw in some creeper plastic and some gunpowder, some rotten flesh, some spider eyes, finally something to do with spider eyes, and a water bucket. And I will make that. And let's see what the pressure it needs. It's only 1, so it should work just fine as soon as all this stuff makes its way in there. I love this watching the little door open and close right there. Cheap thrills. And there it is. There's my etching acid. So let me pull that out. And then let's go ahead while we're waiting for that. Let's just place this down and see what kind of interface I have for this. So it wasn't exactly clear how to do this. So we throw this in there. And then I'm not quite sure how I use the etching acid. Let's look it up. Press I, get down to here, and let me see, printed circuit boards. So yeah, I could either do it in the assembly table with a laser, or I can put it in a UV light box and then etch it with etching acid. Okay, so it just has to be in the light box for a little while until it's been exposed long enough to, oh, and this needs pressure as well. Okay, give me a second. Okay, let's just put our light box down here. Does that work? Yep, and we're already up to pressure. That's great. So now we can throw this back in, and then hopefully that's going to, I guess, get rid of this little bar down here. And yeah, I'll just watch what happens. Oh, the longer it's in here, I see, the more chance of success the etching has. And it's 1%, 2%. Oh my goodness, it's going to take a while. I'm going to have to make some more UV light boxes. Eventually we'll be able to make the whole assembly table thing, and that will make it go faster. All right, so you and I are just going to sit here until this is done. No, of course, I'm going to skip till when it's ready. I was making some more of these PCB blueprints to make some more UV light boxes to speed up the process, and I just wanted to point out to you this message you get when you do it. It says, bear in mind that this crafting recipe is temporary. Once I give mechanics the PneumaticCraft villagers a place to live, I'll remove this crafting recipe and you'll only be able to obtain this item via trading. Use it while you can. I don't want to use up too many emeralds on these. I don't know how many I'll need, but I made 4 extra, 2 already in there And yeah, I'll just have those for later. And I also ran out of compressed iron, so now I'm going to start using this thing to make compressed iron instead of blowing it up with TNT, although that's faster and a lot more fun. And one more note is I've put in an item filter here now to whitelist compressed iron ingots. So now I can just leave this on to pull stuff out as it's ready, and I can just throw a bunch of iron in there and know that only compressed ingots will be pulled out. Haha! They're defending me. Get him! Get him, guys! Excellent. How are you doing? He took some hits, but he'll heal. Good job. You're promoted. So I got 4 of those going now because they take so long. And in the meantime, the first one I did says now it has a 100% chance to etch successfully. So I think all we're supposed to do is put some etching acid in a hole. I'm tempted to find out how much it hurts me. Oh, it doesn't hurt me at all. And we throw this in there. And got to get it all the way in there. And apparently we wait for 5 minutes and it'll be done. So, okay, we're going to sit here for 5 minutes. See you then. And it turns out these will despawn like this, so you have to pick them up occasionally. Oh, and that does hurt. There you go. But it's okay, you don't lose your progress. You can see we're at 80% progress. We're still at 100% chance of success. But yeah, don't let your thing despawn. And another little note here is that this did not work out because sometimes, like let me demonstrate, you throw these in here, the first of them will get stuck in this here, and then nothing will be able to be pulled out because it's the wrong thing. So instead, what I should have been doing, let me grab some compressed iron, is using the filter that's built into here, like that. And then it will only pull out whatever's here. So that's how to do it. So many things to learn in this mod. And while this is all going, I'm also going to throw in the stuff for those, remember those capacitors and those transistors we needed? I'm just going to throw everything in there. Hopefully this is big enough. And then once we get a capacitor and a transistor, I will also include them in the filter there. And let's see if this one's done. Ouchie. Yes, we have our first unassembled PCB. We're going to need to wait for those last things I'm making to put the whole thing together. In the meantime, I'll keep some more progress happening. And another note is make sure you take your compressed iron out of the filter when you're trying to make these. Otherwise, this is going to pull all the compressed iron out while you're trying to do the recipe. Oh my gosh. Okie dokie. This is a bit of a grind, but I think we're ready to make our first drone. So in here, we can make 5 printed circuit boards at this point, which is more than we need at the moment. But, well, at least for one drone. And we can make our 4 turbine rotors. And then, if I can remember how this goes, I think it was it in this pattern? I have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. And I did. There it is, our first drone. But he can't do anything yet. He needs a charging station. And he needs to be programmed. I can kind of push him along the ground, though. But I don't think we're going to get there this episode. Let me see. The charging station looks like this. It's not too bad. I just need to cook up some red plastic. That's not a big deal. But then I need to program him. And to program him, I'm going to need the programmer, which looks like that. So more rotors and a circuit board. That's not too bad either. But then to write the programs that he uses to do whatever, you need all these puzzle pieces. And these are each a different color plastic combined around another circuit board. So a lot of plastic, a lot of circuit boards. I want to have all the puzzle pieces because, you know, I don't know what I'm going to need for programming. Might as well have them all. So I got a bit of a grind left before we can actually program this guy and use them. And then to make all these printed circuit boards, I think I need to make the whole assembly thing. Let's see if I can see it here. Yeah, these devices. And I don't know if I need them all or not, but these are fairly expensive too. I mean, I guess I could just keep making circuit boards the way I was before, but might as well do it this way. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of a grind as well. So each of these, lots of these pneumatic cylinders, more circuit boards. So I think I'm going to use the circuit boards I have to make these, or I'm going to make a few more, enough to get these done. And then I will use them to make circuit boards from there on. Anyway, so at least we got to a drone today. Next time, we'll actually be ready to use them. I'll get the programmer made and all that other stuff. I'll show you what I did, and then hopefully we can start putting them to use. So we'll get to the good stuff next time. For now, I'm just going to kick it around. I better be nice to it, though, because I'm going to need it to do stuff for me later. Anyway, these guys have been protecting me quite a bit, too. Zombies and everybody coming up here. I haven't even had to bother with killing them because it gets done for me. So I hope this wasn't too grindy for you, but we got through it. And now we're going to get to the good stuff once again. So, yep, this is Monkeypuzzle. I'm signing out. My little PneumaticCraft station here. See ya in episode 19. Okay, bye-bye.